Welcome to the 10-minute live spark. And get it sparked in
Get
here
sparked.
today.
I like it. Let's get it sparked.
Let's get it sparked in here. Let's get it sparked in here. All right.
Like that.
I gotta have my own theme music, just like Shaft. I love Shaft's theme music, so I had to have my own. Most
Fantastic.
leadership conversations focus on what to do, new strategies, new systems, new initiatives. But here's the real question. What if the biggest barrier to effective leadership isn't action, it's thinking? So
Mhm.
today we're sparking a different kind of conversation, one that starts from within. I'm
Yeah.
joined today by David Smith, who helps leaders develop what he calls a winning edge, not just through strategy, but through strengthening how they think, reflect, and lead. So let's give a round of applause, Mr. David Smith. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thanks for having me, Olivia.
All right. So, David, let's jump right into questions because we only have 10 minutes.
Sure.
When leaders are trying to improve their effectiveness, they often focus on what's the new strategy, what's the
Mm,
new program, but you focus on thinking. What's
absolutely.
one helpful thought pattern you consistently see limiting strong leaders?
Right. Well, Olivia, thank you for having me, and I'm excited about Spark coming up here in the summer. And to answer your question, I think that one of the biggest things that hold us back is that we try to motivate instead of inspire. There's so much pressure on us as educators and leaders to get every child to buy in and to get the content, get the information, to master the subject matter, and we lose sight of our job is not to convince them to get it. Our job is to inspire them to buy into the system. But we can't make the horses drink, right? We can only lead them to water. So I think one of the things that leads to a lot of frustrations with educators is we are so focused on getting every child to buy into our system, we lose sight of loving the process, right? Of just falling in love with the work, doing the work, inspiring those that we can inspire, and then letting that be um, where we glean our peace of mind. Because again, we can only do what we can do, and if we lose sight of that, if we focus too much on those who don't get it and who are not reaching, then we lose sight of the fact that hey, we're not giving our best to those kids that are there and who do get the message. So I think for me, and what we're going to do with Spark is we're going to help teachers and help educators to focus on the process, develop the mental toughness around just doing the work and working with those who show up.
Okay, so that's kind of powerful where again, you don't want to motivate, you just want to inspire people to and model to people by doing the work
Exactly.
yourself. So you're
Exactly.
doing the work, it's going to help the kids to know, hey, this is work. Help teachers to know every day it's about this process of working and not just let me just motivate you for the day and then tomorrow you still back in the same place you were before.
Right. And I think we have to model consistency also, right? Because consistency and discipline are much more important than motivation,
Yes,
right?
definitely.
Is because motivation is going to wane. There will be days you don't want to do it. There will be days I don't want to get up and do it. But we do it out of discipline and consistency. And that's what we have to do and show up for our kids and let them know that, hey, we're human beings too. We don't always feel like it, but yet we honor our obligations. We honor the commitments we make to ourselves and to our families and to
Okay,
our
we gotta
own
go.
growth. So,
All right, we gotta speed it up. All right,
all
so
right.
because I got a couple questions I want to ask.
All
The
right.
next question
So,
is: you talk about helping leaders deconstruct those patterns. What
mm,
does that process actually look like in practice?
Sure.
And where
Sure.
can someone start tomorrow? We don't want to start, a year from now. Like, what are they going to do tomorrow?
Right. Well, the first thing is, Olivia, we've got to analyze the paradigms with which we approach education. How do you see education? How do you see your role as an educator? Are you still optimistic and positive about being an educator? Do you believe? What belief systems do you have? And are those belief systems serving you? So we always have to do an assessment of our belief systems, right? Are my beliefs serving me? Um, what do I believe about my impact in my classroom and the goals that I want to achieve? And what can I do about it right now? So, what we're going to do at Spark is we're going to go through that assessment process. I've got some questions, some leading questions that attendees will get that will help them to answer those questions and then pick and choose which
Okay.
paradigm best serves them.
Okay. So there's different parts in the assessment, and then they can pick and choose the one they may want to start to work on tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. That's good. That's very actionable. What I'm hearing is that leadership isn't just about doing more; it's about thinking better and more intentional.
Mhm.
Because the assessment is going to help them be more intentional. So, if someone joins your session at the Spark Curiosity Conference, what is the internal shift you want them to leave with?
A renewed sense of belief,
Mm,
a renewed sense of belief that what we're doing as educators matters and can make a difference. There are so many obstacles in education right now,
mm.
so many
We
things
can
that
talk about
teachers,
those. Mm.
right? So many things that teachers, administrators, everyone who's involved in education right now, people are leaving the profession. People are choosing to get out, and we need these folks who love being teachers, who love being educators. We need them to stay. We need them to find their spark, if you will. We need them to be renewed. So I want people to come out of this with some tactics, strategies, and practices that they can use for that renewal process, because that's what the developing the winning edge is for, right? The winning edge is about small changes we can make on a daily basis that lead to huge differences in our results. That's the winning edge. And so the content and information that attendees will receive at Spark is going to be those specifics on how to develop the winning edge and how to rebuild their belief and renew their spirit as educators.
I love it. I love it. And that's exactly why this conversation matters. If we want different outcomes in our
Mhm.
classrooms and teams, we have to start with how we think as leaders and as educators. So, David, we'll be going deeper into this at the Spark Curiosity EDU conference and going down in Austin this July. So, let me
Yeah.
just throw that up just in case
That-
you don't know what those dates are. We're going to put that up for us. And this is just a preview of that work because it's these type of conversations with people who are doing the work that will help make those shifts. And I like to think
yeah.
of Karate Kid. I love Karate Kid. I always go back there because karate is complex, to get to a certain level. And there are a lot of things you can focus on, but Mr. Murasaki, what did he focus on? Wax on, wax off. Put the
That's a
jacket
Mr.
on. Take the
Miyagi.
jacket off. Oh, Mr. Miyagi. Oh, hold on. Who did I just say?
I don't know who
I
that
got it
was.
mixed up with another
Yeah,
sensei. Sorry,
you got to represent
I
Mr.
be
Miyagi
into
right
the
now.
wisdom. Okay, Mr. Miyagi. But the thing was, he was doing something that seemed so simple, but it was helping develop discipline. It was helping develop focus. And so I know as you dig into that assessment and those practices, that's what it is, focusing on one thing at a time until you master that one thing. And before you know it, you look over the year, you've mastered six things and you're
Mhm.
ready. So here's your spark for today. What is one thought pattern you need to challenge to become the leader or educator your team needs right now? So, what is one thought pattern you need to challenge to
Mhm.
become that leader your team needs right now? Let's sit with that. And as always, we're going to close with a track from Fearless Educator Radio to keep that energy going. I
Let's
just wrote
go.
a new track,
Let's
and this
go.
track is called I Want to Be That Teacher. I want to be the teacher, the one you adore, the one you that helps you explore, the one that sparks that curiosity in you. So let's end with that.
I wanna be
All
that
right.
teacher.
Yeah.
I wanna be that teacher. I wanna be that teacher, the one you adore, the one that sees you like nobody before.
Right.
I wanna be that teacher, the one you can trust, the one that lifts you in life getting tough. I wanna be that teacher, yeah, yeah, that one, the one who reminds you of who you become. Not just another lesson on the board, not just another voice you ignore. I see the way you sit in that chair, act like you're good, but I know you're not there. You don't need perfect, you need to be seen. Somebody telling you what you could be. So I'm slowing it down, I'm calling you, I'm letting you know you're more than a grade. I see you trying, even when you don't say it. I see your effort, even when they don't grade it. You don't gotta hide, no, not in my class. You safe right here, you safe right here. I wanna be that teacher, the one you adore, the one that sees you like nobody before.
We always just end with a little
Yeah.
sample. So that was a sample. The
Yeah.
full
Yeah. The
song
fire sample.
will be on the fearlesseducator.com at the end of the month. We got some new tracks coming out. Listen, it's about shifts. You want more shifts? Definitely come and check that out. Again, David, thank you so much for joining us on the 10-minute live spark, and we'll see you in Austin.